You're watching an amazing podcast from an amazing podcast company.
Hello, everybody. Coming to you live from downtown Crime Town, USA, aka Youngstown, Ohio. This is Johnny Ciccatelli with my partner in true crime, as always, Mr. James Naples. Jim, how you doing?
Doing great today. How about yourself, Johnny?
I'm doing great as well. A lot going on behind the scenes, but it's all good.
Yeah, crazy. You got, we've got the Cav Bomb documentaries in the editing process. You've got another documentary that you're working on for somebody else.
Not true crime related. It's a little bit different. It's like a rock and roll documentary.
Yeah, but a ton of footage, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you started having nightmares yet about all that footage you got to go through?
Oh, it's a lot of editing. But you know what? It's speaking of the Cav Bomb documentary, that's editing as well. We have an editor that we're working with, great guy, getting that cut right now. Hope to have that ready to submit to some film festivals this year and just get it out there. And, can't wait for everybody to check that story out. Really proud of it. That was with Charlie Cavallero Jr., the sole survivor of the Cavallero bombing, the car bombing in 1962 in Youngstown, Ohio. Just a horrific case, the youngest victim of mob violence in American history, the Italian mafia.
Yeah.
That stuff only happens in movies, but that really happened here in Youngstown. Charlie unfortunately lost his father and his younger brother. To a car bombing. We explored that in an evening at the Stambaugh Auditorium in Youngstown, Ohio, back in November. If you wanted to check out that event, you can watch that event. It's like nearly 2 hours, and it's with myself and James, Charlie Cavallero, and Cecil Moses, the last living FBI agent to work that case, the 1962 Cavallero bombing. So, great insight, FBI insight, great insight from Charlie, the survivor. First time the story's ever really been told in 60 years. It's just, truly incredible. We were very honored to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
That's available now. If somebody wanted to check that out, you just go to viewstub.com/cavbomb. So, you could download that for digital pay-per-view. And, let us know what you think. Send us a message. We've got an email address at Gmail. If you see it on your screen, it's steelvalleysyndicate@gmail.com. Of course, if you're listening to us right now on Apple or Spotify or iHeartRadio, please leave us a review and, subscribe to our shows. We also have the Vice Squad pod that's available, but planning on filming, more episodes of that coming up. And of course, you can always watch with video at youtube.com/amazing podcast company. So yeah, lots of stuff going on, Jim. We've been filming more episodes, teasing everything. We got more guests coming up, all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah, we're working hard to bring good content, not only to the Facebook group, but to the masses, everybody that follows us, and anybody that's interested in in the mob and true crime. And
we've heard a lot from you guys too. We know there's a lot of you out there. We've been told, around town that we've kind of started this movement, appreciating the mob history here in Youngstown. There's been a lot of they always say, a lot of renewed interest.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's saying, on their events that they're doing with the press. We've seen a lot of events at historical societies around town, a lot of speeches, a lot of just general mob themed kind of events. We were actually, guests recently at one of them at the Cavelli Center.
Yeah.
Tell folks about Crooked City Night.
Yeah, so they had just recently, they had Crooked City Night at the Cavelli Center, and they invited, of course, Johnny there, being that he was, the Youngstown producer on that series. Great series, by the way, too.
Thank you. That's out there too, guys. If you don't know about the Crooked City podcast, check it out. It's available anywhere you get podcasts. So.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that yet.
And it's audio only, so you won't be able to find that on YouTube, but anywhere you get audio podcasts, Crooked City. I was a producer on that with Mark Smerling. It was a great experience. So.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So if you haven't listened to that yet, please make sure that you do go listen to it. very well done series.
And, you know, it was pretty cool when the Youngstown Phantoms are who set the Crooked City night up the other night at the Cavelli Center. It was for a Youngstown Phantoms game, hockey team here in town, owned by Bruce Zolden, who also owns the Phantoms Fireworks. And there's, you know, connections we've talked about in previous episodes for that. But they were big fans of the podcast of Crooked City, so much so that they did a whole promo night. They invited us down. We came down. We had a table there in the Concord at the Cavelli, and then to drop the ceremonial puck for the matchup, they didn't have to look too far. One of the voices from Crooked City is Bob Kroner, retired FBI agent, and Kroner now works as head of security at Phantom Fireworks.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to look very far to find Bob, you know, somebody to drop the puck. But Bob went out there. Bob dropped the puck. Again, he's a big voice in Crooked City. Another voice from Crooked City joined us, Emil Dinzio, Youngstown's own master burglar.
Yeah.
You know, he was there selling books and meeting people, shaking hands. At one point, Jim, he actually got on the Zamboni.
Yeah, took a ride on the Zamboni. You know, it's funny because there's some pictures posted up on Facebook of him riding the Zamboni, and it was funny. One of the commenters, if you look at the one picture, they said it looks like Emil's flipping the crowd off. He was not flipping the crowd off. That was actually a straw from a cup that was sitting behind him. But you know, I could when I quickly glanced at the picture, I could see where somebody would come up with that. But
no, Emil was all smiles.
Was funny.
He was all smiles there. But you know, he's a pretty short guy, so him on top of the Zamboni, it was a good sight. It was a good picture. But you know, definitely a good time there. You know, shout out to John Paul for coming by, bringing us some cannolis from Little Italy.
Yeah, from Corbo's up in Little Italy, and some hot peppers, stuffed hot peppers. Those were good.
That was a good night. You know, brought the kids out.
Yeah,
kids got to watch a good hockey game. So, you know, definitely a fun night. But you know, it's one of those events we were just talking about. That's all this renewed interest.
Right.
People are getting into it. We're getting comments every day about the app. When is the app coming out? It's coming. It just takes a while. By the end of 2024, you will have had the app out, hopefully for, you know, a few months by that point, but we'll see. It's coming 2024. There's no set release date at this point, but it's operational. They're just working on a few, you know,
transitions, you know.
Exactly. A few screen fixes and things like that for when one page goes to the next, that kind of thing. So real boring stuff, but the app is really great. We have 150 locations.
When this app comes out, these people are going to be blown away with what's in it. I mean,
it's just fun.
You know, you guys really, when you guys worked on you and Pat worked on developing, you know, what sites to include and things like that, you guys did really an excellent job with it.
Yeah. Thanks.
It looks great.
Well, it was mostly a ride through history. You know, we did a lot from the 50s and 60s, you know, that active bombing period of Bombtown, USA. We went through a lot of bomb sites, you know, some of which aren't even still standing anymore, just like an empty field or an empty lot.
Yep.
So, you know, there's a lot of research went into it, but yeah, can't wait for you to get the app out there and in your hands so you guys can check it out. No matter if you have an Android or an iPhone, it'll work on whatever phone you have, and it'll use your phone's navigation system to give you turn-by-turn directions to these places. So you can take your own tour. It's going to be very fun. It's called Youngstown Mob Tour. We actually created the Facebook page. If you want to like that and follow along, as soon as we get some updates, we're going to put them on that Facebook page, Youngstown Mob Tour. So check that stuff out.
I'm excited for that. Can't wait.
There's been other events, you know, like we mentioned, other authors are doing, you know, coming in. One of our good friends, Alan May, actually came down. He was talking in Boardman, I believe at Boardman Park. Yeah. Unfortunately, he had a terrible accident. Slipped and fell and hit his head. He was taken away to the hospital. I know a lot of people that came to that event were kind of scared, you know. But I've talked to Alan now. He sent me a message, said he's doing all right.
That's good.
He actually came back and did another show a couple days later. Yeah. So, you know, good for Alan. Can't wait to get back together with him. Alan, of course, is an author. He wrote Primetown, USA, which spans 1933 to 1963. He wrote Welcome to the Jungle Inn, several other books. He's got a new one out, Petro, about a gangster in Cleveland.
Yeah, Julius Petro.
So there's, great resource there. Alan's a great guy. But yeah, somebody brought him in to speak. There's other events going on, they're all around town. So really it's cool. That's what we love it because it just gives us more stuff to throw on Mob Talk. We get to talk about all this stuff.
Absolutely. Hey, and if there's anybody out there, if you got a big event coming up or something like that, and you'd like us to come out to your event, you could reach out to us at the email listed below, steelvalleysyndicate@gmail.com. We love going to events. We love being out in the community.
Yeah.
And anything we can do to kind of help out and promote what you're doing and, kind of bring people into what we're doing, we're more than happy to help. So, just reach out to us at the email below.
We got that Facebook page, that Facebook group, I should say, Youngstown Mob. If you're not a member, what are you waiting for? It's over 31,000 people are in there now. It's a private group. So we try to, keep a lid on it to get rid of all the spam accounts or any kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
We moderate that group and 31,000 people. So definitely join the Youngstown Mob group. And if you do have an event like Jim was saying, and you're doing something mob related, that's your audience is our audience.
Right.
Definitely, come out and promote in the group or promote on our page or our podcast. And, it goes both ways. We'll definitely promote you guys and
absolutely,
do all kinds of fun events.
And there's a lot of mob adjacent stuff, it doesn't have to directly be mob related. If you're doing something that's, let's say you're doing a promotion for a charity or something and there's gambling involved, we'll come out and we'll help you host it.
Yeah.
And we'll just mingle with the people and talk a little shop.
Do some, maybe we'll bring a bar boot dealer, huh?
Yeah, or something, car shows. If you got a car show out there and you need somebody to come help you with that, we're into that too. So
going through talking to a lot of the car clubs when we were shooting our recreations for the Cav Bomb stuff, getting the old 1960s cars. Oh man, it was so fun. So definitely love the old cars.
Yeah, so we can help, if you have any type of event coming up and you want to bring a little extra attention to it, we're always available to help. Just, reach out to us at steelvalleysyndicate@gmail.com, and we'll help you out in any way we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun. It's fun for us,
Yeah, I love getting out into the community and talking to people and, because people always come up to me with stories that I've never heard before, so it kind of warms my heart a little bit to hear everybody else's stories instead of me telling the ones that I know or the things that I found out. I like hearing from other people that lived it firsthand.
Absolutely. We do these episodes a little ahead of time. Some of them we film ahead of time, so I can't give you any specific dates, but we're talking, we got another one of these engagements we're doing coming up in May.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Poland Historical Society.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So there's, all kinds of events coming up. Like, I can't wait till we get to Italian Fest season,
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
So yeah, definitely check that stuff out. And we're going to be looking to our supporters and our listeners and viewers and seeing if you guys want to get involved as well. We mentioned this a few episodes back, but we're working on a film project, a movie, Youngstown mob-based movie that we're going to do here in Youngstown. We're in the early stages of that. So if anybody wants to get involved in that as just a supporter and a producer, independent, supporter, anything like that,
right?
Reach out. If you have a location you want us to, film at or anything, you think might stick out or stand out or somehow you want to be a part of the project, reach out to us, steelvalleysyndicate@gmail.com. Can't wait for that. I'm a filmmaker more than anything. People are approaching us to write books and everything else.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, man, well, first we got to do the mob movie. We got to do a mob movie here.
Exactly.
So
you and I have been talking about it. We've discussed, we've sat down and, gone through, well, there's this movie, there's that movie, there's this movie. There's so many, right?
There's so many to do. It really is incredible. I think I've got the right one picked to start. That really kind of gets you into the world.
Right.
But no spoilers yet. If you want to be a part of the movie, we'll talk. But until then, you gotta have to wait and watch the movie when it comes out. But that's what we do. I came back here to Youngstown after a decade in Los Angeles, 12 years out there working in the film business. Came back here to make a movie, and there's a long, convoluted story. It's on other podcasts and everything, but the nitty-gritty is my favorite filmmaker of my childhood, Sam Raimi. I met this guy in California right before I left, and he told me, he said, do it. Go back to Youngstown and make movies, man. Just do it. So, when your childhood hero kind of tells you to do it, do something like that, you go and you do it. So, came back here to start making movies, ended up doing podcasts as well, working with Jim. Everything works for a reason. So we definitely want to get back to doing more movies, though. And our next one is a gangster story, true story, set in Youngstown, Ohio. And we cannot wait to get that started.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We've got so much going on. And we're actually coming to you from the Chauffin Podcast Studio.
Right.
We got to give a shout out to Chauffin Career and Technical Center. They've got this great production facility here. We've got podcasting. We've got a TV studio. We've got sound studios. So we've got just about everything we need here to kind of start putting some of this stuff together. And of course, letting our kids get some experience in the movie biz.
It's really a great place here. I always tell you, I wish that we had this stuff in my high school. It was so rudimentary, the kind of stuff we were working on back then compared to what you have and the students have at their hands now. Mr. Naples here is a teacher at Chauffin, so he's instructing these kids, and it's really great. I was just blown away with the resources that Youngstown has.
Oh, we've got bigger things coming. I'm actually working on a project now where we're trying to build a soundstage here with full motion capture, the whole 9 yards, which will be great because we have a technology lab right next door to my classroom, and they do all the AR, VR, mixed reality, all that.
I've seen some of it. Yeah.
So, we're trying to bring all that together with our music production class that we have here so we can use them to score movies and films and things like that. We're trying to bring it all together in one place.
It's very cool, man. It's almost like college level resources that these students get to work with.
Yeah. And well, that's what we try to do here because, nowadays, if you're going career tech, you need to be career and college ready, not just one or the other. You need to be both. So, and that's what we try to do here.
That's awesome.
So,
well, anything else you got for this week's episode, Jim?
No, I think that wraps it up. I just got to say, I had a great time at the Phantoms game. It was fun. My kids enjoyed it. My kids loved it.
Sorry to interrupt. Before we go, we have to tell this story. So, one of the workers at the Phantoms, the hockey team there, they told me that the head coach of the Phantoms, the hockey team, Ryan Ward, the only reason he agreed to come to Youngstown was because he was a fan of Crooked City. And, he lives in Chicago. And so they wanted to have him come here to coach the Youngstown Phantoms. And I guess he was a big fan of Crooked City. So he agreed and he loves it. So he was a big fan of the Crooked City night the other night too. So very cool. Thank you to the Phantoms and Coach Ward. If you ever want to be a guest on Youngstown Mob Talk,
absolutely,
anytime.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, for Youngstown Mob Talk Live, I'm Jimmy Naples, Johnny Ciccatelli. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao.
That was an amazing podcast from an amazing podcast company. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like and subscribe buttons and share it with your friends. It goes a long way in helping us produce more amazing content.